So I'm finally getting out, gonna do some bass fishing again. I'm going out in the kayak today. It's gonna be kind of a weird day. I'm not really sure what to expect. It's either gonna be really good or it's gonna be absolutely terrible. And I say that because a few days ago I was out and I was fishing topwater and I caught about 3 bass that were all about 3 pounds or above. I had a good time. And the water temp then was about anywhere from 65 to 67 degrees. So they were up shallow. The first wave of bass were starting to spawn. But these last 4 days, the weather has been very cold and wet. It hasn't gotten much above 50 degrees. And at night, it's gotten as cold as 30, I believe. So now the water temp has gone down a little bit. And I'm expecting the fish to be a little sluggish. But I could be wrong, because today and yesterday have been fairly nice and warm. So I got everything with me. I have topwaters in case topwater is good, which I'm hoping it is because I love fishing topwater. I have a chatterbait to throw around, some spinner baits, buzz baits. I have lipless crankbaits, some square bills, flukes, and I even brought some jerk baits along because I don't know what to expect. Either the fish are going to be really on or they're not going to want to bite anything. So I'm really hoping it's going to be a good day. We'll find out. I'm going to be out in the kayak, shallow water, in their spawning bays. And hopefully it should be good, but we'll see. Seconds after I turn the camera off. It's not a big bass, but it's okay. Nah, he's not that big, but here we go. First bass of the day. I did catch a northern off camera. Chatterbait. This one's coming off that it's a popper. I'm not really sure what the brand name is on this. I'm guessing it's a Rebel Popper. I'm not sure. Just throwing this around shallow cover. I mean, it's an okay fish. Good one to start the day. Hopefully we'll catch a bigger one. This Fire Tiger popper. It's fishing in shallow. Finally got one to hit on it. That's good because I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if they're going to hit topwater. Now hopefully we can get a bigger one. Hopefully I can get it on camera. There we go. About time too. Oh man. Good 3-pounder. Stay on there. Oh, you ate it. There we go. It's a nice fish. It's probably just approaching 3. Look at the way he ate that. You think he wanted that popper? Jeez. Oh, finally. I was just starting to think, maybe I should switch to a buzz bait, or maybe this just isn't what they're going to want today. So there we go. There's that fish. Nice, beautiful bass. It's just starting to think, maybe I should put on a buzz bait or something. It's a nice fish. Probably just about 3 pounds. It's been kind of tough so far. It's windy. Well, I mean, it doesn't look windy here, but the wind's blowing that way and it's pushing me around a lot in the other spots. So I finally got here out of the wind, right by the road. And hopefully now that, you know, the sun's, it's not going down for a while, but it's starting to get to that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock mark. Fishing hopefully will pick up. But I'm just happy to catch that fish. This is a little one, I think. He barely. Oh, he's okay actually. He's not little. Yep. Another nice fish. I mean, not a huge one, but not a little one. I mean, he barely just kind of sucked it under. It didn't pop on it at all. It's a nice fish though. Let him go. God, he wanted that. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, don't come off. Don't come off. Don't come off. Oh, yes! They really, really like that popper. Let me show you that. Look at that. Oh, man alive. There is nothing better than topwater fishing for bass. Nothing. Yeah, I hear you. You're probably jealous. Alright. There's a good 3-pounder, probably 3.5. I don't have the scale with me. Some nice fish. He just demolished that topwater. Using that little popper still. And it's working good. Let this fish go. Man, they're eating that thing. It's getting all beat up. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to switch over to hat cam now. Hopefully we get some on the hat cam. Oh man, I missed him. Oh. Finally! God, I've been waiting forever. Man, it's been like 2.5 hours without a bite. This is a good one too. God. Oh, he's barely hooked. That's a nice fish. Not the biggest, but a nice one. Oh man. I had a long dry spell there, I tell you. Jeez. Thank you, fish. Alright, the bait I've been using today is this topwater popping bait. You know, I'm not quite sure what the brand is. This was given to me as a gift, and I'm gonna guess it's a Rebel Popper. That's what it looks like to me. And I've never used this kind, and I've always just used Rapala Skitter Pops, and they work very well. And I decided the other day, I was like, well, this looks good, I'm gonna give it a shot. And this is probably one of the best poppers I've ever used. It's got rattles in it, very different from the Skitter Pop. I like that. And it also, it walks really easy, and that's something that has been really important to getting this bait to stay in the strike zone. Today I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried throwing a buzz bait around for topwater. I've tried a chatterbait, and I couldn't get a hit on either of those. And then I put this on, started using this, and that's what I caught all my fish on today. And what I think the reason why this is working is because this bait stays in the strike zone longer. It is a topwater. It's going over the top of these fish, which are really shallow, but this bait is allowed to twitch back and forth and be really subtle and quiet, rather than a big buzz bait that's just buzzing right through really quick. And these fish aren't necessarily very active. It's been cold. Last night, like I said, it got down to 31 degrees. Today it got pretty hot. It's about, well, I mean, it's not hot, but it got warm, 63 or so. So I think the fish were a little more active, and that's why this bait was working good. The way that I was fishing it, the key was casting it far and being in the kayak, because these fish are very spooky. The water is clear, they can see you coming. And in the kayak, it's very low profile, and it's not going to scare away the fish. And making that long cast gets it out of the way, so the fish aren't going to be able to see me before they see my bait. And then it's just simple, just twitching it, popping it, get it to pop, pop, then pause. Surprisingly, a lot of the hits came on the pause. And so I just pop it along a few times, pause it, and then they'd hit it. The rod I'm using is a 6.5-foot medium power fast action bait casting rod with a 7-to-1 gear ratio Quantum Tour Edition reel with 10-pound braid. And it's a really good topwater rod. It's got a nice tip to it, and I can really whip that bait in there good. The only issue is it's not quite heavy enough to get some of these fish out. The vegetation isn't thick yet, but it's thick enough to where this rod is kind of struggling a little bit. So I'll probably be bringing out a different rod here in the future.